I'll give an
some
idea
Yeah.
for
national hero.
Charlie Kaufman script. Like someone's making a biopic about someone,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that person is making a biopic about this person.
About the one making the biopic of themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
My God.
Very.
You are going into the future.
You talking to me?
They always BBC clothing. என் பேர் மாணிக்கம். எனக்கு இன்னொரு பேர் இருக்கு.
Talking to me?
Queen is dead.
So this is the podcast, and we're going to be talking about movies. So that's the amount of energy I have. Okay. So what do you guys think about biopics? Like, have you seen biopics? Recently, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, and I thought it was dog shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
What do you
horrible.
think, Karthik?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it. Good. Dear, it is basically a
I think it was the one of the worst edited films.
yeah. I don't know why it won. It actually won the Oscar for best editing, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, best editing.
And it had that infamous scene,
Surprisingly
that
bad choice.
infamous scene of them like just meeting at a swimming pool, and it has so many cuts for no reason. And actually, that wasn't the biggest
Was
problem I had with the movie. I love Queen like just like any other guy, but eh, I don't like a movie
hmm
where it turns into a karaoke, where you have subtitles for the song. You have like a
But
literally a karaoke in the bottom of the entire.
I think that was they were trying to get that whole stadium, not stadium, like a concert
Yeah,
wala
but
feel.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think that's what they were trying to go for, and try to make it easier for people to understand
Yeah, I guess not everyone knows
and
gonna be accessible. Yeah, yeah,
sing along.
yeah.
Mm.
And I think a lot of these movies don't have great great like pacing or anything. They most of them have. Have you seen this guy John C. Riley's movie of which is basically like a mix of all like biopics all together in one? It's called Walk Hard: The Dewey Cox Story.
Yeah.
I think it's a parody, nah.
Yeah, yeah, it is, and
I haven't seen.
it's made by Jake Kasdan, who also made like all the Jumanji
Mm.
movies. Yeah,
I
so
haven't
it's got
seen.
like this. It's got basically like the beginning of every story. It's also Patrick H. Willems. Like there's a YouTube channel called Patrick H. Willems. He did a piece on
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
and he talked about this movie a lot. Where he was saying that it always starts with like this one. The main guy is like just before this huge performance, he's waiting and he's like reflecting on his life, and he goes back to his childhood, goes into
Mm.
his youth where he's like actually turning out to become like a good musician and shit, and it just moves forward to his career, and then usually
Mm-hmm.
the climax is supposed to be him having a huge meltdown or drug overdose or some shit like that, and then like the third act is him recovering and like apologizing to everyone, and that's literally what
Mhm.
happens to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Mm-hmm. But I think I saw Rocket Man last year around
Hmm.
June something, June mid, and I think it was good. Like it didn't like the thing with that was it was biopic, but it had adopted that
Mm.
genre, like musical genre, and it tried to base its film around that
Yeah.
only.
You know the best biopic.
So I think it worked.
It's none
Which
other
one?
than PM Narendra Modi, dude.
It was.
Uh,
Really was.
no arguments. No arguments.
Like no,
Dude,
no, no.
It's too sacred to
what
talk
a
about.
what
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Let's move
trailer,
on.
what a poster. Let's do 1 hour on that.
yeah. Let's just talk about Modi for one
Yeah,
hour.
yeah. It's a
And it's weird
mammoth of a
that they
topic.
call it PM Narendra Modi for the whole the. I mean, the film title is PM Narendra Modi. It's not Narendra Modi. It's not about Modi or anything. It's PM Narendra
Yeah,
Modi.
I don't know. You're, you're a bigger fanboy.
Oh, yeah. I am the fanboy of PM Narendra Modi.
Good, you specified
Narendra
PM.
Modi. Yeah, I
Karthik,
have to.
what's the most recent biopic that you watched?
Most recent,
Karthik. Hmm.
uh, I saw it has to be a movie or mini series counts.
Ah, mini series also
Mini
counts.
series is when they see us.
What was that? What was that
It's
about?
like it's like a period mini series. It's in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's period, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, it is, it is.
Yeah, it's just four kids in New York get convicted wrongly uh, for rape or like an attacking in Central Park, and they get arrested, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
chronicling their life and happenings around this event. It's in 4 episodes. It's by Ava DuVernay, who made what did she make?
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
Selma.
A Wrinkle in Time.
She made
Yeah, yeah,
Salma.
yeah.
Yeah.
Selma.
Wrinkle in Time is a great movie.
She's
She
made
made
something else also,
a
no?
movie before or after Selma
The
also,
middle of
but
nowhere. Middle of nowhere. It's got the same guy in Selma. It's got David
she made
Oyelowo.
13th. It's there on Netflix right now. It's a documentary. It's really good.
But do you think all biopics need to be true to the subject, or can they have their own storyline or whatever? They can use that subject or whatever and fictionalize it however much they want.
It depends on the topic, right? If it's like some
Like for example, you watch Sanju. Sanju was not, let's say, true to what his personal life. That's what a lot of people say. But do you have an issue while watching it? Does it hamper your experience in any way?
probably not, but like, what if you're like distorting history? Like you're showing one thing that didn't happen at all. Then what?
That's okay. But like what I meant was because I never looked beyond that whole biopic. Like Sanju, whatever they distorted. I'm okay with that. Like that film began, that film ended. I don't care beyond that. That's the whole thing that I'm trying to say. So does that really bother you if they really change that? Do you think Pan Singh Tomar was a very correct to the T with respect to its story?
But what is the effect of like changing it? Like who has a problem with it usually?
Usually, no, people usually have problems, right? They're like, the film didn't stay true to its subject. Like even with respect to the Narendra Modi biopic which came out, it was highly, building castles in sky, whatever. But so do you have an issue if they do something like that, even if it is purely made from a
Like if
propagandic
it's
perspective?
propaganda, then it's like a problem, right? Because then it's like pushing
Hmm.
that propaganda. But you've seen Iruvar, right?
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So in that, like, they don't say this is based on the real guy or anything related to that. But
Hmm.
it's pretty clear that it's about the
Hmm.
person. It's about the
Yeah,
secondary
it's based
characters
on
based
real base.
also
Yeah,
based on a real person. Like that's a good way
yeah.
to do it because they didn't like have any people. I don't think people had any issues with that as such, saying like it distorted anyone's image or yeah. And then they do show like
Hmm.
different
I think now,
shades of that character. Like it's not just like positive or an
not just one person. It's not a
Yeah,
caricature.
in I guess in like in PM
Like
Narendra Modi, he can't
he's
do no
that.
wrong. He will never do
yeah.
any
and
wrong.
and and in Sanju they like tied a perfect knot of saying
Hmm,
he did all this because so and so happened to him. Like it's like a direct correlation. Like this guy sold
like
him
justifying.
drugs, so he started doing drugs. He has
Hmm,
Yeah,
no free will.
doing drugs. This guy got him guns.
Yeah,
So he
he
got
can't make
guns.
a
Whatever.
decision for himself.
Does that bother you while you're watching? Like if when you're watching at theater?
Like if it's something that I know already, then maybe it'll bother. Like if there's some real movie
Hmm.
like Inglorious Bastards, or that's like too much. There's some real that making a biopic
Hmm.
about a historical figure, and then something that's not even like close to history happened. Then you'll be like, what the fuck is this?
So you're saying Irwar is a great way to like make a biopic
Yeah,
in that sense,
it's
which is
because
not a
that's not even
biopic
a
in that
biopic,
biopic
right? Like
genre,
yeah,
but
you'll end
it
up thinking
still
it's
references.
yeah, you'll
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
end up thinking it's a drama only.
Hmm.
yeah, and it's almost like Guru.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, both Mani
you
Ratnam
can
films.
take
Yeah.
one scene out of both those movies, and they'll all have the same arc. Like they won't be like a different arc or anything. Only thing is that there is this meta, like thing of like people know, like, everyone knows already. It's not said, but it's said fact that
Yeah.
this is Dhirubhai Ambani and this is MGR, and you, or I guess
Hmm.
it's a mix of MGR and Karunanidhi.
No, it's not a mix. Karunanidhi is the second guy.
Or I mean, like the successor is the
Second guy, yeah.
Karunanidhi. Yeah, is Jayalalitha is there a reference to
Hmm.
Jayalalitha in that movie?
I don't remember, but they have very specific incidents that happened in MGR's life. Like there's a scene in the movie where a guy is on a film. The guy is on a film set, and someone shoots him by mistake. Like
Mm.
that really happened to MGR. Like he was on a film
Hmm.
set, and it was supposed to be a fake gun, and a real gun fired,
Hmm.
and the bullet went into his throat or
Mm.
something like that. I don't know if his throat. Maybe I'm
Oh.
thinking of Dasavatar, which
Everything
is
comes
also
under Dasadaram.
yeah, that's also a biopic.
But that's the
Yeah,
whole thing now. I think.
of
Hmm.
10 people.
Yeah, but mainly of Avatar Singh.
Avatar.
But why do you think like most people are
Oh,
banking
hey,
on
it's a biopic
these
of
formulaic
George
biopics
W.
now?
Bush. He's there.
He's there in it too, yeah.
Yeah, what? Why
Okay.
more people?
Like banking on like these formulaic biopics now, like this hagiographical storytelling way.
Like what? For example?
Like any recent movie, yaar,
Okay,
like
okay.
take Mani Karnika also, or any random like the sports biopic, like how they've been whitewashing or whatever. Like leave whitewashing out of it. Just the storytelling way. Like this guy is born, X thing happens, Y thing happens, which are like those pop culture moments that you know are going to happen in it. And it's like just connecting dots from point A to
No,
point B
they're
to
just
reach
like
that
cashing
final
in on
point.
this trend of biopics. Like they're using the real life
Hmm.
person or like historical figure, like that brand name or
Yeah.
whatever. They're just cashing in on it to make a movie. Like they're, I don't think they really want to do that. Also, they're just like doing it for the sake of it.
Mm.
Hmm. What about you, Ganti? Like, what is your
I
take
think
on it?
people don't. Okay, there are two kinds of movies that can be made in the industry right now. Either the movies, if you want to make money, basically. Either
Which
you make.
industry? Which industry?
Hmm.
I think it's more for the Bollywood. I guess it's not. Uh,
Yeah, Hindi.
I think Telugu movies have their own, like audience and their own feel that they want to go for.
I think Mahanati was a
I
good
haven't seen
biopic.
it.
I am assuming. I haven't seen it,
I've
but I've
seen it.
heard a lot.
It's actually good. It's actually good. Also, that true story aspect was where it connected to people because you are not watching this with people yourself. Like this is not a moving or experience is not alone. You're not doing it alone. You're doing it with everyone else. And in the
Hmm.
collective, the conscious of the audience, everyone knows Savitri. Somehow heard of Savitri.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone has somehow heard of Padmavati. My God, and everyone has heard of Pansing Tomar, and everyone has heard of MGR, of
Hmm.
course.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Not
not everyone's
not
heard of
everyone's heard of Mahanti
Pansing
I
Tomar.
Tomar.
mean, okay, this one I don't. This
Mahanti
one
Tomar. Yeah.
definitely not. But sometimes, okay, sometimes you need these kind of movies that. Okay, this is the other point. Okay, first point is that people want to know about real life and they want to dramatize real life more because they already have seen it. They feel
Hmm.
like they have already seen every kind of movie that can be made, at least for their own taste. Been given a Dhoom, I've been
Hmm.
given Players, I've been given Golmaal, I've been given Stree. They feel like the masala flick has now turned into biopic.
Yeah, I think that's majorly because biopics are an easy way as work as an extension for heroes.
Yeah,
Like they stand as more like inspirational, looking up to, or like with
yeah,
moral
Also,
values or
like
whatever.
if an audience is going to see something, they want to know what they're going to see. So if
yeah.
it's like some drama,
Hmm.
they would be like they won't have anything to say before they go, and they don't know what this is about. They have to
Hmm.
go watch. But if it's a biopic, they'll
Hmm.
just say, "Oh, it's about this guy." Yeah, like it makes it easier for them.
I don't know. So I was saying like I I think I watched this film called
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nirja, which was I think a very well directed. It was like it was a biopic, but then you can't call it a hagiographical biopic because it picked one incident in their life, and then it dramatized the whole like the heck out of it, and it was well directed. And that the good part was
Yeah, yeah.
the director knew what to pick out.
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. He picked out that one incident where he knew a thriller light. He was just trying to use those biopic tools to make a thriller. Basically, that is what I really liked about Neerja. Like that's one film.
Okay, this actually goes back.
That
It's
one
the one,
incident,
her
yeah,
whole
that one
life is
incident. Hmm.
defined by that one incident. This also, like, he added a
Hmm.
lot to that incident to make her, make her feel more fleshed out, like a
Hmm.
person. Yeah,
Yeah, the audience
and
rooted for her.
the
Yeah, yeah,
same
yeah.
goes with like Tarantino and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, he said that he didn't want her life to be
Hmm.
defined just that one incident. That define. I mean, her whole persona was
Hmm.
one incident. But in reality, she was just a regular person. Neerja also, they show her as a regular person, and they show
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
builds up to the. There is no hero act in the story that is just a hero act. It is something that's earned. That's why
Hmm.
he has a thriller aspect of it,
Hmm.
because he wants her to be the hero of the thriller. Where she is like whatever villain there is, she is the one fighting it from inside.
Even Citizen Kane is a biopic, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But
Citizen
it's
Kane is a
not
biopic.
like
Yeah.
they don't use the guy's name. The original guy
Hmm.
is
Hmm. Hmm.
something else.
What do you feel is the difference between Indian and American biopics in general, or do American biopics also fall in that Oscar bait trap?
No, there are some good biopics, right? They were probably not
Like which ones?
called biopics before, like Raging Bull and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, Raging Bull, yeah.
Aviator, one of my favorite films of
Sorry.
all time.
What else? Non
Yeah,
Scorsese
mine too.
biopics. Mishima
Non-Scorsese biopics. Oh, Mishima City. Sorry,
chapters.
I haven't seen this. What is
Life
this?
Before Chapters. Mishima is directed by Paul
So
Schrader.
it's considered as magnum opus, like barring Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's about this guy who was a writer slash filmmaker. He made only two films, but like mostly writer poet.
Mm.
Hmm.
Uh, Japanese, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and it's a very like he wanted to make this biopic, and he did it in like a very art house type way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not he didn't get any money to give it the scale that it ought to have had. So like he's covered it up using many
Mm-hmm.
different techniques. Like he's built like a miniature set, yeah, instead of
Stage, yeah, yeah,
like
set,
a
yeah,
big battle
that
sequence or
one set.
like a
Mm.
fort sequence. Yeah, that's very
Mm-hmm.
interestingly done, at least.
I think Ford Coppola and uh, George Lucas produced
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is really good. Okay, one biopic that you would recommend, Ganti. Two biopics. Just give out two names for people who are listening to it.
I would like anyone to see the Aviator. It's about Howard Hughes, directed by
Hmm.
Martin Scorsese.
Hmm.
It's got Martin Scorsese pulls out every trick of his. Okay, in trying to, like, he
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
has a one take in this movie, and it's one of the, like, it ends on a amazing cut also. Like, Thelma Schoonmaker is of course editing, and I think this is one of the best edited movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It's not about the writing. The writing is the old kind of thing. But yeah, it's a great movie. And other,
Hmm.
it's a Hindi one. I think it would be Guru, because I like Guru for its like, each act is supposed to be three instances in that guy's life.
Hmm.
And the same happens with Aviator. I think I like
Okay,
movies which either take one thing, one event in someone's life, and then then fleshes out that one event.
that's what I was telling about Neerja as well.
And there are the other kind of movies which have that whole three act structure of, like, there's this when they're kids, when they're in the midlife, when they're in. But in both
Yeah,
these
yeah, and
movies,
then
then
yeah.
there's only a hint of childhood. There's not much of that, but there's always the build up, like why they do it, how they do it, what do they do after that.
Hmm.
This kind of structure, they do it right.
Okay.
And any movie, I think these are
Hmm.
the other movies which don't do it well are just trying to emulate what these guys did it perfectly. Iruvar is a brilliant movie. Like, it doesn't waste time. Like, there'll be a setup for something, and later on, like way out, like an hour later, you'll get the like a payoff for that, or there'll be a call back to something, call back to a scene before, and really ties the whole movie together.
Hmm. Karthik, what about you?
I won't say recommendations. Like I'll say two biopics you probably not heard of.
That you like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both by the same guy. It's a guy called Alex Cox. There's two
Okay.
movies. One is Sid
Hmm.
and Nancy,
Mhm.
and second one is Walker.
Sid and Nancy, yeah.
It's a rock and roll biopic type of thing. Like it's about this guy, the singer Sid Vicious and his wife, and it's like it's a good biopic.
Hmm.
It's a very weird biopic, but it's good. And again, I don't know if I'll recommend it.
Okay.
I'll just say for the sake of something you probably not heard of. And the second one is
Hmm.
Walker, also by Alex
Okay.
Cox. It's like one of the most random movies ever
Hmm.
made. Like if you see it, you'll wonder like why this even got made. It's that type of thing. Like it's like a
Hmm.
historical thing where like the history almost has no significance.
I'll recommend. They're not necessarily old films, but there are two films that I really, really like as biopics. Apart from whatever's been spoken, one is First Man, and the other one is Social Network. I think they're both of them are relatively new in the last 10-12 years, but I really like those films. Okay, so this is the end
The end.
of this podcast. Beautiful friend. Okay, I'll end this podcast on a very good news that
Oh,
you guys would like to hear. Uh, Katrina Kaif is playing PT Usha in her biopic.
that's
So that's
great.
very good
That's
news.
actually all good casting.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah,
have to
Yeah.
like
very good
flip
casting.
it into negative to get the skin tones correct.
And
Sorry to PT Usha. You are
Arya, repeat
a
your
national
line. It
Hey,
got
treasure.
cut. It got cut.
you'll have to flip it into negative to get the skin tones correct.
Yeah,
Laugh
that's what I was
again.
meant.
Yo, I can't. I'm gonna
And
apologize to PT Usha. She is a national treasure.
there's a PV Sindhu biopic. There's a Satnam
Yes.
Singh Bhamara biopic. There's a Saina Nehwal biopic. There's a Mithali Raj biopic.
There's a Sania Mirza biopic also, right?
Yeah, so either these films have to be either sports
Or there'll
personalities
be events.
or
Uri,
some
Uri.
no, 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 no,
Hey,
no, no, no,
I'll give like
not events, or they'll
a
be related to
I'll give an
some
idea
Yeah.
for
national hero.
Charlie Kaufman script. Like someone's making a biopic about someone,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that person is making a biopic about this person.
About the one making the biopic of themselves. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a great idea.
My God,
Very. Yeah.
that's
And
the
true
then
end
have
of
a.
adaptation.
this movie.
Okay, the end. Episode khatam.
Let's it got too meta.
Khatam.
It got too meta. We are making a podcast of us making a podcast right now.
Shut the fuck up. Fuck up. Fuck up. Fuck up.